Rajeshwari MJ. She pursued her BE in Electrical and Electronics at the People's Education Society College of Engineering, Mandya. She pursued her MTech in VLSI Design and Embedded Systems at the Sri Jagadguru Balagangadharanta Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Her personal skills lie in good verbal and written communication skills. Her areas of interest lie in OOPS with C++, renewable energy sources, HVDC transmission, digital relays, automotive electronics, advances in VLSI design. She has also had papers presented at the national level, such as the Innovative Architecture for SoC Multi-Core Hybrid Processor, presented at the RNSIT, Bangalore.
Welcome to UGC lecture series of BSc Applied Electronics. Today we are dealing with the subject Television and Engineering. Let's start with the Unit 2. Some of the topics that we are going to discuss today are composite video signal and standards of television system. In composite video signal, we are going to cover video signal dimensions, horizontal sync details, vertical sync details. And in the standards of television system, we are going to discuss about CCIRB standards. The very first topic is composite video signal. The composite itself says a video signal will be having two or more signals in it. The composite video signal consists of three types of signal. One is camera detail signal, that is all the signal details, all the picture details will be in this signal, and the next one is blanking signal. This blanking signal is helpful in making the retrace invisible. So, this blanking signal will be helpful in invisibility of scanning retracing. The next one is synchronizing pulses. The synchronizing pulses is used to synchronize the signal from the transmitter and the receiver in scanning part. So, these are the three signals that will be involved in composite video signal. Whenever we say the composite or video signal, all these three signals should be included, and each will be having its own priorities and it carries its own information. Next, in synchronizing pulses, there are two types of synchronizing pulses will be there. One is horizontal pulses and another one is vertical sync pulses. In horizontal sync pulse and vertical sync pulse, we are going to discuss in detail in upcoming slides, and how these signals are passed means are transmitted. These signals will be having same amplitude, but the bandwidth of the two signals are different, because of which we can able to separate these two signals at the receiver end, so that we can have a horizontal and vertical sync pulse separately. And also we need this sync pulses in a consecutive manner, because in all the modern technology the scanning type of scanning used is interlaced scanning, where all the lines are scanned consecutively, not sequentially. So, these sync pulses are needed consequently and not sequentially, and all these are in a time division manner. So, next come to a video signal dimensions. The picture shows details of three scanning lines, and it will be having three different brightnesses. And one more thing, the brightness of different frames will be different, and the brightness won't vary with line to line, because the brightness will vary only with frame to frame. That is why here we are considered three different lines of scanning lines of three different frames, so that the brightness of three lines will be different. That is what we can observe from the picture. This is the DC level. The DC level is the main important thing which will going to show the brightness of a picture. The DC level will going to carry the information of brightness. So, here the DC level will be more higher compared to this another two. So, this is the three different lines of three different frames having different brightnesses. This picture will give almost all the details of video signal. Here we can observe here this peak white level. This peak white level is a maximum value of a scan lines having its brightness. That is, a scan line will be having maximum of brightness at this point, that is why it is called peak white level. This will be of 12.5%. So, this is another one is called as pedestal height. This will be the difference of DC level and blanking level gives the pedestal height. And also one more thing, this blanking level will be there. This blanking level will be helpful in invisibling the retrace of scanning line. So, here also we can observe the horizontal sync pulses that will be above 75%. And another thing, the picture details that will be of almost, it will be carrying of 65%, 65% will be the picture details, and the remaining 25% will be the sync, that is sync pulses will be needed for remaining 25%, remaining thing will be the blanking pulses. Now, we are going to study in detail all these things. So, video signals will be having different amplitude, okay. This different amplitude lines will constitute its different brightness as well as the whatever the information it is carrying of a picture details. The peak white level, as we observe, it is of 10 to 12.5%, and the peak white and the black level will be of 72%. The black level is almost merged with the blanking level, that is why it is not visible here. This is 72%, and the blanking level is always added with the sync pulse level, and it is of 75%. Next is pedestal. Pedestal, as I already said, it is the difference between black level and blanking level. This will going to merge again, the pedestal is also merged here. Next is the pedestal height. This is the distance between the pedestal level and the DC level. This is the difference between the pedestal level and the DC level. This will be the pedestal height. Next, picture information will be from 10%, it starts from 10% till 75% will be the picture information. Next, darker the picture in the sense higher will be the voltage within the film. So, darker will be shows us its voltage will be higher. So, DC component of the video signal gives what information? That is what already said, the DC component corresponds to the brightness, average brightness of any picture will be always recognizable, will be always carried by its DC components. Sometimes the DC components may exist or may not exist. So, by that time we can use a pedestal height information as a brightness information. And also the brightness, as already said, the brightness will change from frame to frame. This is the concept we are taken to study the composite video signal dimension. So, low pedestal height in the sense, what does a low pedestal height will gives us means, it gives us a darker scene. The scene will be darker because of the pedestal height. So, DC component in the other end and also the pedestal height will going to represent the brightness of a picture. So, again the larger pedestal height will says the picture will be of brighter. Next will be the blanking pulses. The main important thing of blanking pulses is to invisible the retrace line. So, this is the important thing that going to takes place with the blanking pulses will be, it will going to invisible the retrace component. And how the amplitude slightly will be, always the amplitude of the blanking signal or blanking pulse will be above 75%. Above this will be the pulses will remain, the blanking pulses will remain on above 75%. And the repetition rate of horizontal blanking pulse is equal to scanning frequency. So, this is important, the scanning frequency and also the blanking pulse frequency will be same, that is 15,625 hertz for horizontal. This is already we learned in unit 1, that is for horizontal pulses the frequency will be 15,625 hertz. So, again for vertical blanking pulse the frequency is equal to field scanning frequency, that is 50 hertz. This is what the frequency of a vertical blanking and as well as horizontal blanking. In the picture we can easily observe that where the sync pulses added here, the sync pulses will be added above the 75%, that is 25% will be here, horizontal sync pulses will be here. this is the blanking line, and the total will be 160 microsecond vertical blanking pulses period will be present here. This is where the retrace will be there, and there will be no information in this duration. This is the horizontal blanking pulses, and this is the picture information. Next is the important thing, that is P by S ratio, that is picture to sync ratio. It will give us a very good idea about the picture details, how a picture has to be and how this ratio has to be maintained, and what are the effects if the ratio is differ of its standard value. Always this P by S or picture to sync ratio is maintained to 10 by 4. Why it has to be 10 by 4? These are the reasons why it has to be 10 by 4. If the picture signal amplitude is increased at the expense of sync pulses, then amplitude increases, then the noise ratio, the sync to noise ratio will be falls down. So, this becomes insufficient to keep the picture locked. That is why we always keep P by S ratio is equal to 10 by 4. So, we should not increase the picture signal magnitude or the pulse magnitude. If the sync pulse amplitude is increased at the expense of the picture signal, then the raster remains locked, but the amplitude of the picture content will be too low. So, even though if we increase the sync pulse or even if we increase the picture amplitude, there will be some effect on the picture details. So, we should not alter anything, let it be keeping P by S as a 10 by 4. So, the horizontal sync details. Now, we move on to horizontal sync details. So, horizontal sync details will give us information of horizontal sync, the frequencies and what are the things of horizontal blanking, what are the blanking pulse involves and what is the frequency and how does it affects. So, in the picture, horizontal line and sync details compared to horizontal deflection sawtooth and picture space on the raster. So, here it is clearly mentioned that the sawtooth waveform will be there, and this what are the effect of this sawtooth waveform on the picture raster will be in detail discussed. So, this H will be the total period of horizontal sync, that is 64 microsecond, that is 64 microsecond will be the total period of horizontal sync, and here there will be a front porch, back porch and horizontal blanking pulses, horizontal sync pulses will be there. This horizontal blanking pulses will be of 3 types. It includes 3 important things. One is back porch, front porch and also the horizontal sync porch. All these 3 includes the horizontal blanking pulses, and all these 3 will be having different period, and all this will be gives a different details for the picture. Let us start with how this details of a horizontal sync pulses gives the period and also the picture information. The total line period is equal to 64 microsecond. That is what the whole period of a horizontal sync is 64 microsecond, but in that line blanking period will be 12 microsecond. Okay, 12 microsecond will be considered as a period for line blanking, but a total period of a horizontal sync will be 64 microsecond. So, this differential leading edge are used for synchronizing horizontal scanning oscillators. So, there are some differential leading edges that will going to trigger the horizontal scanning oscillator, so that we will get the sync pulses in the receiver part. So, this will divided into 3 sections. So, horizontal scanning will be divided into 3 sections, that is front porch, line sync and the back porch. In the front porch, it is having a period of 1.5 microsecond, and this will allows the receiver video to settle down. So, line sync will be there. In the line sync, 4.7 microsecond will be its period, and this will help in blanking the flyback or blanking the flyback or retracing. We need this line sync, and this will be very much useful in horizontal sync, because at every end of an horizontal sync we need a retrace, but vertical scanning it is not there. It will be only at end of each field there will be a retrace. Back poach will be of 5.8 microsecond period. Time for the horizontal time based circuit to reverse the direction of the current for scanning the next line. This will gives the back poach will give some time for the horizontal time based circuit to reverse the direction of current for the scanning the next line. This is a time where it will retrace and it will go back to its original position and start scanning from the left side. Same amplitude will be maintained for the horizontal sync pulse and the blanking level. All these will be used by a amplitude gain controller, which will be at the receiver to develop a true amplitude gain control voltage. With the help of amplitude gain control voltage, we will able to get the corresponding sync pulses, and this sync pulses will be of the same frequency of blanking level. Next we move on to vertical sync details. What are the things we can observe from the vertical sync details? Here we consider two fields which is of a type interlaced scanning. It is having two fields, one is even and another one is odd. This is the end of second even field, this is the beginning of first odd field. This is the line which is separating odd and even one. This is the 625 lines which is going to end the first frame. This is the beginning of second frame. The second frame and the beginning of odd field will be having a vertical pulse interval, and the total vertical blanking interval includes almost the even second even also and the beginning of the first odd field. So, this will the vertical blanking interval. And the next what we can observe is here 2.5 of H, this will be important. This is 2.5 of H in the sense the vertical pulse will be having a period that is 2.5 times the horizontal pulsing pulse period. So, if 2.5 times the horizontal sync pulse means 64 into 2.5 will gives 160 microsecond. That is what the period of a vertical pulse interval. This is added after each fields. I already said horizontal will be added at each line, but the vertical sync will be added at each field, at the end of each field, and it is in complex in nature. We always know it also has some of the sensitive information. If we remove some of the vertical sync also, we miss lot of information of the picture and it may looks like a smear on the picture screen. Vertical sync period is equal to 2.5 to 3 times the horizontal line period. What I said, it always to be maintained within the range of 2.5 to 3 times of a horizontal line period. In commonly the standard for a monochrome TV system is 625 lines per frame. So, this is having 2.5 into 64 which will give you 160 microseconds. So, the vertical sync will be having a period of 160 microsecond. Commence at the end of the first half of this we can observe from this will gives a commencement of a vertical sync, that is 313.5 here 313.5 here it will commence from 313th half, or it is going to commence here 313.5 and its extend to 314, 315 lines. All these will be included in the vertical pulse interval. And similarly, after an exact interval of 20 millisecond, the next sync pulse occupies the line numbers first, second and the first half of the third. This we can observe from the picture, what here we can observe. Similarly, the same thing happen here, but here what it is again 1, 2 and third, half of the third, it is starting from the first line, second line, but the third line will be half, here it is going to end. So, this is how the vertical sync will start and end from field to field. So, another important details about the vertical sync details are the horizontal sync information is extracted from the sync pulse train by differentiator methods. So, for differentiation we will get the horizontal sync information, but whereas the vertical information will be got by integrated output, and all this will be get from this sync separator will be there, which will going to separate the vertical and horizontal sync pulses. And furthermore, receivers often use some multi vibrator we are going to use to generate horizontal scan, and so a pulse is required to initiate each and every cycle of the horizontal oscillator in the receiver. This is what, because we observe from the details there are merging, because there are so much of merging of vertical pulses with the horizontal details also. So, 313.5 means it is merging with the 314 also. So, this vertical line will be carrying information of some of the horizontal itself also. So, we need a pulse generator to initiate appropriately, so that we will get the vertical pulse at particular trigger only. Next, what are the shortcomings and what its solution? Horizontal sync pulses are available both during the active and blank line, which we already discussed, but there are no sync pulses available during the 2.5 line vertical sync pulse. This will going to be a big problem, because during 2.5 line vertical sync there will be no horizontal sync pulses or blanking sync pulses. So, here this will going to make a oscillator not in a continuous manner, because here it will be out of sync. So, this has to be overcome. What we are going to do means, the situation of an odd field is even worse. So, since it begins at midway, leading edge of the vertical sync pulse comes at the wrong time to provide synchronism for the horizontal oscillator. So, every time the leading edge of the vertical sync comes to in the midway. So, this will leads to a bad synchronism to start for the horizontal sync, to get the horizontal pulses from the oscillator. So, therefore, what we are going to do is 5 narrow slots, that is of 4.7 microsecond width, are cut in the vertical sync pulses at the intervals of 32 microsecond. So, this will overcome all this problem, and this rise at this rising edge we will get easily the horizontal sync pulses, so that all the information that we needed without any interruption and continuously we will get from the oscillator by adding 5 narrow slots. This insertion of short pulses is called as notching of serration of the broad field pulses. This we can observe from the figure easily. Here we can observe where the notch of serration of the broad field pulses are occupied, where it is from 4.7 microsecond. We are going to insert 5 narrow pulses, so that we are overcome all these things that we are, since the vertical sync pulses are started from the midway and we are losing some data of a horizontal sync pulses. It is seen that the synchronization of the vertical sweep oscillator in the receiver is obtained from vertical sync pulses by the integrator LPF, that is low pass filter. All these things that we are getting from the vertical sync will be getting from sweep or oscillator, and also the vertical sync will also be get by the low pass filter. The voltage built across the capacitor of the low pass filter corresponding the sync pulsar trains of both the fields, and it is shown like this. This is the trigger pulse for the vertical oscillator, and here where the trigger level starts to get the vertical pulses, vertical sync pulses. And after end of the second field, this will be the trace of the second field. After end of the first field, the dark line shows the first field trace. This will be the voltage, where the peak voltage of the first field will be little bit lesser than the second field. Note that the sync pulse have purposely been drawn without equalizing pulses. There will be no equalizing pulses for the sync pulses here. Each horizontal pulse causes slight rise in voltage across the capacitor. So, there will be slight rise in capacitor because of horizontal pulses. We need to overcome, we need to reduce this overcome. This has to be reduced by the time. The next pulse within this short period, that is 4.7 microseconds only, we need to reduce this, and discharging period is 49.3 microsecond. But during broad serration region, capacitor has more time to charge and only 4.7 microsecond to discharge. But after adding this 5 narrow pulses, we also overcome this problem. So, we can have lesser voltage also by having more discharge time than the charging time. Situation is different for beginning of the second field. Here the last horizontal pulse corresponding to the beginning of the 313th line is separated from the first vertical pulse by only half a length. That is what all the time when the vertical sync pulse is started, it is of the mid of the 313th line. So, this will cause a big problem in making a vertical horizontal pulse to get the horizontal pulse from the sweep oscillator. Therefore, the voltage developed across the vertical filter will not have enough time to reach 0. So, this has to be overcome. So, we need to reduce the voltage charging and discharging of a vertical sync. So, that is oscillator get triggered a fraction of second early as compared to the first field up. We need to set a triggering pulse such a way that which will going to trigger earlier, so that we will able to get the charging time as well as discharging time are all equal. So, one of the technique that we are used here is equalizing pulses are used to solve this problem. So, what is the equalizing circuit? The figure shows the pulses identical vertical sync voltage built up across the integrating capacitor. So, these are the identical voltage. So, in this figure we got two different voltages because of that's what I said, the vertical sync pulse will always start from the middle, that is why we got two different voltages here, but due to using of equalizing pulses we get identical voltage will be built up in the integrated capacitor. So, this 5 narrow pulses of 2.5 line period are added on either side of the vertical sync pulses, that is known as pre-equalizing and post-equalizing pulses. This is pre-equalizing, this is 2.5 lines we added before the field sync pulses, and post sync pulses are which is added after field sync pulses. These are the two things we need added to overcome the two different voltage. The effect of these pulses is to shift the half line discrepancy away from both the beginning and end of the vertical sync pulses. So, there is a discrepancy, there is no merging of the two pulses. So, to avoid this we are going to have a two pre-equalizing pulses and as well as a post-equalizing pulses. So, what are the benefits of pre-equalizing pulses? Pre-equalizing pulses is of 2.3 micro duration, and this will discharge of capacitor to 0 voltage in both the fields. So, post-equalizing pulses is necessary for a fast discharge of the capacitor to ensure triggering of the vertical oscillator proper time. So, every time there is no need of facing a problem with the vertical pulse generation because of post equalizing pulses. With the insertion of equalizing pulses, the voltage rise and fall profile is same for both the fields. Whatever may be the field sequence, we will get the same voltage, that is what our equalizing pulses will give. The vertical oscillator is triggered at the proper instant. So, vertical oscillator now there is no discrepancy because of using pre and post equalizing pulses. The vertical pulse will be triggered at the proper instant, and that is exactly at an interval of 1/50th of a second. We can observe here why it has to be 1/50th only. If it is of more than 1/60th, then our eye could recognize. This is what the perception of eye concept. Let us have a summary of this session. That what we discussed in this session is about composite video signal. The composite video signal having three different signal. One is picture signal, which is having a picture details, and another thing is blanking pulses, and one more thing is sync pulses. The blanking pulses or blanking signal will have useful in invisibling the retrace line during the scanning, and the synchronizing pulses or sync pulses are used to synchronize between the transmitter and receiver signals. All these composite and video signals having a different period, and it is carrying different type of information, but all this having a same amplitude, but we will change the bandwidth due to the separation that we want to make at the receiver end. This is what a summary about the composite video signal. The questions are: what is a composite video signal, why vertical sync and horizontal sync is necessary, differentiate between vertical sync and horizontal sync. Some of the reference you can have are engineeringtv.com or tvtechnology.com. You can go through this website, and for further readings you can refer the textbook Basic Television Principle and Servicing from Bernard Grob McGraw-Hill, and Television and Video Engineering from A.M. Dhake, Tata McGraw-Hill Publishing. These are the references that you can have for further reading. This ends the session. Thank you.